So yesterday we have seen the basics of Power Query Editor. We will start with the options that are there in the Home tab. Yeah. Okay, recording is started. All right. So the first option is close and apply, which we are aware. Yeah. So what will this option do is it will close the Power Query Editor window. Plus, it will also apply the changes that you have done or apply the transformations that you have performed on the tables. Yeah. So that is close and apply. You can individually select the options as well, like apply, and then you can also use the close that we have in the front end. That is, if you want to connect a new data source, you can go ahead and do that from here. Yeah. Then you have recent sources, which would list down all the recent data sources that you had tried to connect from this system. Okay. Then we have enter data. What is enter data? Enter data is nothing but we have seen an example of it, which is this. We can create a manual table inside the Power BI itself. Yeah. Then we have the data source settings, which we have seen. Then we have the parameters. What is parameters? Let's see that. Now, for example, I have this financial sample table. Okay. Now, in this table, I need to filter the date field. Okay. I need to filter this date for, uh, let's say I need to see the data after 1st January 2014. Yeah. Now, whenever I try to filter the data, what I need is it should be dynamic, right? When I say dynamic, that means the end user should be able to change the date, and from that starting date, he will be able to see the available data. Yeah. So he doesn't need to come to Power Query Editor and change the filter, come to this specific step that is there. Yeah. So let's say that you have filtered value step here, and after that you are doing so many transformations. Yeah. So there is a chance that they may miss the step, or it may take time for them to search this. Yeah. Or even they don't have the access to the Power Query data. Yeah. So in that case, what you can do is you can create a parameter so that whenever they change the parameter, automatically the filter would be affected. Yeah. So how do you do that? You create a parameter first. Yeah. So let's create a parameter. So to create a parameter, you will go to manage parameters. Okay. And you will click on new. Now, when you click on new, you can give this parameter a name. Let's say start date. Okay. Type will be date because we are going to enter the date value. Yeah. And then you can enter date value like this. So let's say I enter 1st March 2014. Okay. So the parameter is created. Now, how do I use it to filter this date column? Yeah. Where is the date column? Okay. So I need to filter this one. Okay. How do I do that? So I can go to this. I have this date filters. I'll say uh, after. Yeah. So after whatever is there, the whatever date we have entered in the parameter, from that I need the dates to be filtered. So I'll say is after or equal to, and instead of this entering the value or selecting it from the drop down, I will click on this and I'll say parameter. Yeah. So you'll see that the start date is set. If I hit OK, you'll see that the data is now from 1st March 2014. Yeah. Now I have created the filtered row step, right? Now, if I go ahead and change the parameter, let's say instead of March, I'll say February. Yeah. As soon as I enter the filter, as soon as I enter the parameter, you can come here, check the data. It will be from first. That's not fair. Let's do one more step, an additional step here, okay? And then check. Yeah, there you go. So it is from 1st February. Yeah. So based on your what you can say, based on the parameter change, it would give you the data. Okay. Yeah. Understood parameter. Do you want to try creating a parameter? Create the same kind of parameter, and then in the financial table that you have, yeah, this financial table, go ahead and filter the date field for that particular parameter. Okay. Let's go ahead and create it.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yesterday I have installed that SQL uh, SQL server, but
Okay.
I'm unable to log in, having error. So I am not getting that type of error. I will show you. Actually, my credential not working. Server name and that one. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So here your instance is missing.
Uh, While configuring this, error occurs.
Samir, can you just add a just add dot and then try
Yeah.
Only dot.
just a dot,
Yeah.
yeah.
Only.
Okay.
And also from the services, check if the SQL Server, that
Yeah.
service for the SQL Server is on or not. Yeah.
Okay. Services.
You're not able to connect. That means the server is not enabled.
Yes.
Scroll down,
Okay.
or the instance is not created.
SS.
I don't have SQL Server at all. Yeah. Yeah. So the instance is not there. You need to install the instance as well.
Means what need to install?
Uh, so the URL that I sent, yeah, in that
Yes.
you will find the setup. In that setup, when you proceed, there is an option to create that instance when you will
Actually,
install.
while installing, I'm not having that instance. Not ask that instance, and you have provided that link that have only downloaded.
Okay. I'll give you the link today. Yeah, try that instance. For specifically to install the instance, I'll give you a link. Apart from this,
Okay. That's why I missed that yesterday's session. I can practice. Okay,
Right.
I
And
will
I'll
give
give
you.
you the instance installation to that.
Okay, okay. Thank you. I will give you that link also that you have provided yesterday. Okay, please give me today. Then I will practice yesterday's
Yeah.
section
Yeah. Okay.
session. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. So let's try to create the parameter first. Yeah. And let's see if we can filter the data using a parameter.
Yes.
Mm. So let me share my screen. This is the parameter I created just now. So now I have to go to this financial table, right?
You created it for 2022.
Okay. Okay. Now I have to go here, right?
Correct.
And then date filter. Here I have to. uh,
Don't really click on it. There's a drop down, so small drop down, right?
okay.
Yeah.
It's start filtering, not it, right? It's uh, previous data.
Okay. So go to date filter, date
Mm.
filters. You will see after the third option from top. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. There you select is after or equal to.
and here parameters are not coming.
Yeah. So you need to click the drop down where you see the date. No, no. Before that, drop down is there. Yeah.
Okay.
Select.
But I'm creating this date part, right?
Yeah. So you'll select parameter. First, click on that parameter, and then you'll
Okay.
select the date part.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Mm.
Now, why this is empty? Because
Ah,
the format of your date. Now, again, you mentioned 2020. We have dates for
for
2014.
hmm
So as we don't have any dates for 2020, it's showing black. If you enter 2014 there, and now if you see the data, yeah, now you'll be able to see.
after still not filtering, right? Refresh.
Now it will filter. Yeah, so you have done it in the reverse option. See, here your format is month, day,
Mm.
and then the
month, day, and year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose I need to change this, so I'll have to be changed from here itself, right? Date
Yeah.
format. Data column. No, here.
Uh, no. Don't change this, Amit. Go ahead and change your parameter.
Okay.
Edit the parameter and enter the month number first and then the date.
How we can enter here? It look like the same, right? 01, suppose.
No. You have to mention. So if you want to filter from March, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
month comes first. That means 312014. Yeah, I just entered in the chat. Mention it like that.
I didn't understand, sir. But it's filtered,
Now
but
if you see, yeah. Now if you see, it's only from March 2014.
okay. How we rearrange this the sequence from March to December?
Yeah, you can click on that filter again, and there you have um, no, not here. Go to
Okay.
that, go to that table. On that column, when you click on that filter, you will have the option to sort ascending, descending.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you'll see it is only from March.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Anyone else facing an issue for creating parameter?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's continue. Okay, that was about parameter. Yeah. Not only for creating date, but you can store any value and then you can use that value in your any of the tables in any of the format, right? So that's what using a parameter is. Parameter is nothing but storing a value, and then you can give the control to the end user wherein they can change the value. Based on that, either a calculation may change or a filter may change. Yeah. Okay. After parameters, you have the refresh preview. What will this do is it will refresh the preview. That is the top 1000 rows would be refreshed. It doesn't mean that it will refresh your data in the front end. Yeah. So if you want to refresh the data in the front end, again, you'll have to refresh that. Yeah. Okay. Then you have properties which we have seen. Advanced editor we already know. Manage is again delete, duplicate, reference, the same options that we have. Yeah. Then we have the choose columns option, in which we have two options here. Yeah. So if I select choose columns, yeah, let's say that from these set of columns, I need only some specific columns, right? The better example would be financial sample, wherein when we load a list from SharePoint, there are some unwanted columns that comes through. Yeah. So let's say I just need the specific columns which are required for our development. Yeah. So let's say I deselect everything. I need this one, title, then I need country, product, units sold, sales price. Yeah. Um, then we have this. I don't need month name, but I need sales. Yeah. Rest all of the fields I don't need. So I just need some specific columns. Yeah. So I can go ahead and select the columns and the choose column. Right? That's it. And so what will this do is it will select only the columns that you need. Rest all would be removed. Yeah. That's what choose columns is. Yeah. Now let's say I go back to the previous step wherein I have now 44 columns. Yeah. So if you see at the bottom left corner, you will see how many rows of data is there and how many columns do you have. Yeah. If you have more than 1000 rows, it will not show here. It will only show you 999 plus something like that. Okay. So when I remove the columns, it came down to 13 columns. Okay. And why it is 490 rows? Because we filtered the data. If I remove this, it would be 700. Okay. So it is telling us now 199 plus. Yeah. But it's actually 700. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So let's say now I don't need to remove the columns, but I'm finding it difficult to navigate to a particular column. So I can use go to column and I can then select a column. Let's say I need to go to profit. I select that and the column is selected. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you can choose the columns. Then you have remove columns. For example, if you need to remove this, you can click on this. If you want to keep this column and remove all the others, you can say remove other columns. Yeah. So this kind of options are available here. Yeah. Keep rows is again the same thing. Okay. Yeah. Keep, yeah. So keep top rows. Let's say if I need the top 10 or top 15 rows. Yeah. So I can just mention the number here and only that much rows would be available. Yeah. Let's say I need to keep the bottom rows. I can do that. Yeah. If I say keep a range of rows, for example, starting from the 11th row, then from that 11th row, I need the next 20 rows, for example. So I can do like that as well. Yeah. Then we have keep duplicate. So only the duplicate rows would remain. If you have any distinct row, that would be removed based on the column that you select. Yeah. If you just want to keep the error rows to see how many error rows we have, you can do that. And the all options opposite, which is remove, is here. Okay. You can remove the blank rows, you can remove the errors, you can remove the duplicates as well. Then the sorting order options are here. Yeah. Then are the major options. So before we do that, let's filter this table again. So now split column. Yeah. So in Excel, we have done the split column a lot. Yeah. So the same thing is available here, but with more options. Yeah. So let's say if I need to split the day, month, and the year in separate columns, right? The values. Okay. So what I can do is I can click on the split column and I'll say delimiter. What is the delimiter in this case for the date? It's hyphen. So you'll see that Power BI automatically detects that, right? And it enters the hyphen here. Yeah. Then you can select where do you want to split it at. Yeah. So if you want to split at the left hand side, yeah. So yeah. So let's say leftmost delimiter. Okay. So leftmost delimiter, what it will do is from the beginning of the text, yeah, whenever the first hyphen comes in, it will create a split. Okay. So if you see here, we had the day, month, and then the year. Yeah. So after the day, hyphen was there, so it created a split at that particular moment. Yep. Now, if I say split column by delimiter and I select rightmost delimiter, what will happen? Only the year would be in a separate column. Yeah, like this. Okay. So if you see, whenever you split a column, change type step gets added. Yeah. So change type step, what change type step is automatically added. Why? Because there's a new column being generated. Yeah. Okay. So that's why the auto-generated step is added, and that's why you may see a change in the values. Yeah. So if you just have numbers, it would assign a number data type. If you have text values that are generated, it would be as it is. Yeah. Okay. So split column by delimiter, we have seen what is it? It is by delimiter. Yeah. So we saw leftmost delimiter, rightmost delimiter. Each occurrence of the delimiter means every time the hyphen would appear, it would create a split. It would create a new column. So you will see that here, day, month, and year. Yeah. So you need to do an each occurrence. If you want that every time the hyphen comes, you need to create a split, then you can do that. Yeah. All right. Now, after split column by delimiter, we have number of characters. Yeah. So let's say I just need the first three characters from the product field. Yeah. And the rest should be in another column. So I can say by number of characters. Yeah. Again, the same kind of options. If from the left hand side of the text, if I need the first three characters, I can do like this, three and ones as far as left. So it will create a split. So now I have two columns. In first, I have the first three characters and the rest in the second. Yeah. If I need to do again based on ones as far right. Yeah. So again, I can do like this. Yeah. If I say repeatedly, so let's say after every two characters, create a new. So it would create that many number of columns you can see. Yeah. So that is what split column by delimiter is. Then we have by position. Yeah, by position is again the same thing, but this time what happens is now when I say split column by delimiter, right? So split column by delimiter, in that if you select the number of characters, what it does is it gives you two separate columns, for example. Yeah, the residual would be in another column, and the required characters that you need would be in one column. Yeah, but what does position do is it will not give you a residual column. That means it will not create another column, but whatever the result would be, it would be in the same column. So if I say after 3, so this is what you get. Yeah, so you can see that there is no other column being created. Yeah, it is just with the residue. Yeah. So that's how the position works. Then is the basic ones like lowercase to uppercase. That means if after a lowercase character there's an uppercase, it would create a split. If I say uppercase to lowercase, it would create a split after the uppercase character. Yeah, like this. Then you have digit to non-digit. Let's say you have a column in which you have values like the numbers first, and then you have the text. So after the number, it would create a split. Yeah. If you have the opposite of it, that is you have text and then the numbers, then you can use this. Yeah. These kind of options are mostly used when you have some product code or some code column from which you need to extract the actual code, and the text you need to extract it separately. Yeah. So these kind of things, if you want to do, you can use the split column options. Okay. Clear till here, everyone?
सर
Yeah. Yes, sir.
सर अगर सिर्फ नाम होगा कॉलम में, नेम का कॉलम होगा, फुल नेम,
हाँ,
फर्स्ट नेम और
हाँ,
लास्ट, ऐसे तो बहुत सारे अलग अलग नाम होंगे और मुझे फर्स्ट नेम और लास्ट नेम सिर्फ खाली सेपरेट करना है अलग अलग कॉलम में। जैसे स्वाति
हम्म,
जमदाड़ है तो स्वाति एक कॉलम में, जमदाड़ एक कॉलम में। तो
हम्म।
इस तरीके से फिर हम डिजिट तो नहीं डाल सकते ना कि हर किसी का नेम का वो जो
तो
है।
फर्स्ट
हाँ
और लास्ट नेम के बीच में स्पेस रहेगा,
हाँ स्पेस रहेगा।
तो डेलीमीटर होगा स्पेस। बाय डेलीमीटर यहाँ पे आप स्पेस सेलेक्ट करोगे और स्प्लिट कर देंगे लेफ्ट मोस्ट डेलीमीटर स्प्लिट. Let me take an example. Well, let's say we have the column here. Okay. So let's say this is the table. Okay. So these are the names, for example. Okay. So I hit OK. Now, if I need to create a split, first name in a separate column, last name in a separate column. Auto split column by delimiter. I'll select space and I'll set leftmost. That means from the first from the left hand side, whenever the space comes, it will split. Yeah.
यस सर।
Thanks.
और सर जब एक जैसे हम सॉर्ट किया, अभी डेट के कॉलम को सॉर्ट किया था, तो सर बाकी के जो कॉलम्स में जो डेटा है वो ऊपर नीचे नहीं होगा?
हाँ होगा ना.
होगा ना? तो सारा सेलेक्ट
हाँ,
करके
हाँ.
फिर हम सॉर्ट करेंगे ना इसमें भी?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, सारा सेलेक्ट करके सॉर्ट नहीं होगा इसमें. सर जो भी आपको कॉलम सॉर्ट करना है वही कॉलम आप सॉर्ट करोगे, तो उससे रिलेटेड जो भी डेटा है वो करेक्टली दिखाएगा.
अच्छा।
सो वो दूसरा जो डेटा है वो ऊपर नीचे हुआ तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बिकॉज विजुअलाइजेशन में हम इधर अल्फाबेटिकल सॉर्ट लगाते हैं या फिर कस्टम सॉर्ट लगाते हैं, जैसा हमने देखा.
हुँ।
So it doesn't matter, like if the rows goes up and down.
ओके। एक्चुअली सर वो एक्सेल में कैसे, अगर हम कोई डेटा अगर हम सर्च करते हैं तो अगर हमने फ़िल्टर लगाया या फिर सॉर्ट किया तो एक ही कॉलम पे किया तो पूरा ऊपर नीचे होता है डेटा?
हाँ, तो वैसा ही होता है ना यहाँ भी. See, let's say if I say alphabetical sort here, okay, sort ascending to descending, तो सारा डेटा चेंज होता है. बट दैट शुड नॉट मैटर, क्योंकि हम उसको विजुअलाइजेशन में यूज करने वाले हैं, हम उसको ऐसा एज अ टेबल व्यू नहीं देखने वाले. स्वाति,
हाँ सर, मुझे नहीं समझ रहा है
ये
ये डेट को अभी आपने सॉर्ट किया, अभी डेट अगर आप विजुअलाइजेशन में लेंगे तो खाली डेट थोड़ी ना लेंगे, बाकी के भी डिटेल तो लेंगे ना दिखाने के लिए।
तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ ना, बाकी के डिटेल्स भी जब आप लोगे तो वो सॉर्ट मैटर ही नहीं करता अभी। लेट्स से आई यूज फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, okay? मैं
हम्म
अगर कंट्री वाइज सेल्स दिखा रहा हूँ एक
हम्म
विजुअलाइजेशन में, अब इसका जो सॉर्ट रहेगा, ये विजुअलाइजेशन का जो डिफॉल्ट सॉर्ट है वो यहाँ पे प्ले करेगा, ना कि जो टेबल में हमने अरेंज किया है उसका। वो मैटर ही नहीं करता रिपोर्टिंग के लिए, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक्सेल के लिए आपको मैटर करेगा। अब मैं अभी समझो बैकएंड में मैंने तो वो सॉर्ट किया था, जब मैंने उसको अप्लाई किया चेंजेस, यहाँ पे आप देखोगे वो स्टिल डेट लार्जेस्ट टू स्मॉलेस्ट और अर्लीस्ट टू लार्जेस्ट, अर्लीस्ट टू लेटेस्ट आएगा ही नहीं, वो एक रैंडम सॉर्ट लेगा। ठीक है, अगर मैं यहाँ पे सॉर्ट कर दूं, प्रोडक्ट वाइज सॉर्ट कर दूं यहाँ पर, ठीक है, यहाँ पे अब मेरा प्रोडक्ट पहले आ रहा है और बाकी का डेटा बाद में। सो इसका मतलब ये नहीं हुआ कि अगर मैं कंट्री का डेटा अभी लूँ तो अमेरिला के लिए पहला कंट्री फ्रांस था तो मुझे पहला फ्रांस आना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होता। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? सो अभी आप कौन से भी कॉलम पे सॉर्ट अप्लाई करो, it will not matter. It is just for your viewing inside this table view. That's it.
ओके
इसका विजुअलाइजेशन से कोई रिलेशन नहीं। ईच विजुअलाइजेशन का सॉर्ट डिपेंड करता है इस ऑप्शन पे। अब यहाँ पे तो
अच्छा
सॉर्ट आएगा नहीं क्योंकि ये डेट वाइज है।
हाँ हाँ
यहाँ पे सॉर्ट एक्सेस एक तो कंट्री वाइज या फिर सेल्स वाइज, डिसेंडिंग असेंडिंग करना है वो अपने ऊपर।
हाँ
सो हम इंडिविजुअली कॉलम्स को विजुअलाइजेशन में लेते हैं और फिर सॉर्ट अप्लाई करते
ठीक है
हैं।
हम्म
Any other questions, anyone? For split column?
सर वो स्प्लिट कॉलम का किया है ना अभी नेम का, तो पर्टिकुलर एक ही कॉलम पे हो सकते हैं? अभी वो टाइटल था अपना, हाँ ओपन कर सकते हैं अपना,
Yeah.
टाइटल है ना, टाइटल पे ही होना चाहिए। जैसे अभी वो स्वाति ने बोला कि नहीं का दो नेम ने का स्प्लिट होना चाहिए, जैसे चैनल एंड पार्टनर। लेकिन नहीं का
हाँ,
कंट्री में भी नेम है, प्रोडक्ट में भी नेम है, और डिस्काउंट में भी नेम है, तो सिर्फ
हाँ।
टाइटल को कर सकते हैं ना उस पर?
टाइटल पे ही होता है ना वो, बाकी चीजों पे कहाँ अप्लाई होता है?
हाँ
So
हाँ,
if I
वो
say
सिलेक्शन में
space,
ओके ओके ओके, गॉट इट
हाँ
सर।
वो कंट्री वो सारे कॉलम वैसे ही रहेगा।
यस यस।
ये एक्सेल जैसा स्प्लिट वर्क नहीं करता कि आप जो नेक्स्ट कॉलम रहेगा उसको रिप्लेस करके ये जो रेसिडुअल आएगा ऐसा आएगा, नहीं। जो बाकी के कॉलम्स है वैसे ही रहेंगे।
वैसे ही रहेंगे, ओके ओके, ठीक है ठीक है।
Okay, so let's move forward. We have the next one is group by. Yeah. So what is a group by? Group by is nothing but an aggregate table. Yeah. Aggregate table. What is an aggregate table? This is kind of a pivot version of your table that you can create. Yeah. So let me do this. So let's say that I need to create an aggregate table based on let's say the country. Yeah. So I need the total of let's say total of each product country wise and the count of rows as well. Right. So first of all, let's see the basic one. Yeah. Let's say I need total of units sold for each of the product. Yeah. So I can select the product dimension. Here I create the measure. So I'll say uh, total units sold. This is my new column name. Yeah. Then I can select the operation as sum because I need the total. And then under the column, you will select units sold. Yeah, hit OK. Complete table would be gone and you will have this aggregate table result. Yeah, aggregate means in Excel, you can say it as a pivot table, right? A pivot table you can generate directly inside the Power Query editor. So now what it is giving you, it is giving you the total of units sold for each of the products for the complete data, right? This was a basic group by. Let's say I need to do it advanced. So I can click on advanced. I'll say, let's say I need country and then I need products. Yeah. So for each country, each product, what is the average sales? So I'll say average sales. I'll just give a random name here. Yeah. So now instead of sum, I need average of sales. Okay. I need another count, another row, which will give me the row count for this two's combination. Yeah. So I'll say count rows. Now what is going to be returned from this is for country Canada, product Canada, this is the average of the sales, and this is the row count. Yeah. For Germany, product Pasio, this is the average of sales, and this is the row count. That is how we come to know. Now, let's say I don't want to lose the complete table. I just want to have a link of that table so that in the future I can also go ahead and extract that column. So what I can do is I'll edit the step by clicking on settings. I'll say here all, okay? And here I will say all rows, that's it. So there would be a column which would have a link to your table. So you can expand the columns that you need further. Yeah. Mhm. Now, how you can use group rows? Yeah, I can use it for a better way. Yeah. Now, let's say I need to find out the total of sales for the latest of the month that is there. Yeah. So let's assume you have day-wise data, right? In a month, you have, so let's say that you have day-wise data, right? And so if you have day-wise data and then you
सर
need to
आपका वॉइस
filter
ब्रेक हो रहा है
only the,
सर
yeah,
वॉइस
yeah,
ब्रेक
is
हो
it fine now?
यस सर
Okay. Yeah. So let's say that you have day-wise data in your table, right? And then you need to find out the latest month. Okay. Now in our relative date slicer, what we can do is we can say is in the last month. That would give us the latest, for example. But my table doesn't have anything related to the latest month or the latest date. Yeah. So what I need to do is instead of the system date or the current date, I need to go with the latest date that is there in the date column. Okay. So how I can do that is I can flag that latest date as one and then go on flagging the other dates as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the past. Right. So how do I do that? Okay. How will I do that? Uh, what I can do is I can use this group by. I can get the distinct of dates by using the group by. I will add an index to it so that I have the ranking based on latest to the earliest date, and then I can expand the table again. Yeah. So I'll show you how. So let's say I do group by. I'll say date. Yeah. And I'll just have all rows column here. Yeah. So I have the dates here. What I will do now is I will filter this from descending to ascending. What will that happen? The latest date would come first. Then I will add the index column. So what will this index column work as is? Now it is working as the ranking. So whenever now in the future, whenever the latest date comes in, yeah, let's say after 1st December 2014, we have some data for 2015. Yeah. So whatever latest month date would be there, it would be uh, considered as rank one. Yeah. So now I have indexed the date. That means I have ranked the date. Now I can go ahead, expand the other columns. So I already have date, so I don't need date. There you go. So now I have the index column. Yeah. All it gives is one at the beginning. Why? Because it's all December's data. Yeah. So if you see, based on ranking, I can select the data. Now what will happen is, if I go ahead, apply this to front end, yeah. And if I say that, let's say I have a table here, entry wise cost, let's say. Yeah. So this is the um, visualization that I have. Now what I need is, I need to filter this visual for the latest month. Yeah. So what I can do is, I have that index column. I'll filter it here. I'll say one. So this would always be filtered for the latest. Okay. It will always be filtered for the latest one. Okay. So one means the latest, right? That's how you can filter it. Okay. Understood the use of indexing.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's go back. After group by, what do we have is, we have the data type change that we already know. We have use first row has headers. We have already seen that in sheet 2 and sheet 1, wherein we had to promote the headers. The opposite option is also there. For example, let's say the first row, the actual values is considered as the headers. Yeah, so you can say use header, use headers as first row. Yeah, these kind of things also you can do. Yeah, so the opposite of it. Like sometimes what happens, your actual column header is lying in the first row, then you promote it. Yeah. So if you want to promote the first row value to the headers, you can promote that. And if you want to bring down the header values to the first row, you can do that as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Aristotle here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the last option for today is replace values. Yeah. Now, replace values is also an important one, because we need to be very careful while replacing the values. Now, let's say that in this column, I have the text as engineer. Yeah. I need to cut it down to the short form of engineer. Yeah. Let's say ENGG is what I need. Right. So what I can do is, if I say replace values, yeah, it took the selection that I did. If I just say like this, yeah, and I hit OK, you see, not only for the exact value, but wherever the related value is there, um, it is replacing that particular text, right? But this is not what I need. Yeah, this is not what I need. What I need is, I need only the exact match should change. This junior engineer should remain as it is. Yeah. So if I have to do that, what I can do, I can go to the replace values again. Yeah. I'll mention the text that I need to replace. Option. And I will select match entire cell content. So what will happen with this is, Okay. What will happen with this is it will only replace the exact match. Yeah. The rest would remain as it is. Yeah. Got it? So this is important because if you don't do the exact match, what will happen wherever the related values are there also it will go on changing. Okay. So that's why using the replace value, we should be careful while doing it because it may affect your um, other values in the column, okay, which you were not expecting to change actually. Yeah. Clear to here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, we have to take merge queries and the append queries. Yeah, we'll take it in a separate session because it's an important topic. Merge queries is nothing but doing a join. So using merge query, we will bring these two columns inside sheet one here. Yeah. So similar to lookup. Yeah. And then there is one more exciting feature there called as fuzzy matching. We'll also learn what is that and why do we use that. Okay. So in our next session, we will go through merge and append, and then we will go through the transform topics. Yeah. All right. Any questions for today?
सर वो लेफ्ट साइड वाला अभी का जो कॉलम देना शेयर पॉइंट का, वो कहाँ से लिया था वो शीट में? वो पुल किया था ना, कल दिया था वो लिंक।
शेयर पॉइंट
हाँ, अभी का नहीं था जो ओपन किया था आपने, हम वर्क कर रहे थे अभी वो।
कौन सा लिंक?
ये
ये वाला?
हाँ हाँ, शेयर पॉइंट से उधर से लिया है क्या?
हाँ, तो शेयर पॉइंट का लिंक आपको चाहिए?
नहीं दिया था कल। हाँ वहाँ से, हाँ ओके ओके, ठीक है ठीक है।
ये वाली ले, ट्राई करो इससे एक्सेस करने की। अगर एक्सेस ना रहे तो ग्रुप में पोस्ट कर देना, मैं एक्सेस ग्रांट कर दूंगा। आई थिंक द एक्सेस इज देयर, जस्ट ट्राई वंस। एक्सेस ना हो तो बताना, मैं दे दूंगा एक्सेस।
चलो वो मेरा इंस्टेंस का करना है, प्रैक्टिस करनी थी कल का सेशन। इंस्टेंस क्रिएट करना था।
सेकंड SQL instance installation। ये इस URL पे जाओ, स्क्रीन शेयर करता हूँ।